So I want to talk today about the power of messy emotions. Now, I don't really like to put emotions into a category of good or bad or positive emotions, negative emotions. I just think they're emotions. And I like to think about emotion, like energy in motion. Okay, so when we don't emote, when we don't have our emotional expression, we are blocking energy. And I think in the realm of depression, anxiety, anger, frustration, overwhelm, any of these kinds of emotions, these are often not considered very acceptable. They make people uncomfortable. If we express the truth of what we're feeling and needing and longing for or frustrated with, etc., people get really uncomfortable. And I've come to see over the years that I think a lot of this just has to do with the culture, right? We don't have places for truth telling. We don't have places that allow us to come together. And, even as a mom, when my kids were young, coming together in play dates or, play groups or moms gatherings or things like that, I was never one to love small talk. That's just not my thing. But to be real, to talk about the day-to-day emotions was never really something acceptable in the group gatherings. And it would have been so refreshing to have conversation about the ways in which we're all wrestling with different things. And then, of course, the ways in which we're joyful about things. And so this idea of having emotions, of emoting, of moving our energy, it comes up so frequently when we're in that state of anxiety or in that state of overwhelm or anger or whatever it is. And I know in my own journey, I've mentioned in other videos the concept of perfectionism or control being a form of anxiety, like a subtle form of anxiety, where you just, you feel that tension and you have to do something about it. And so the best thing you can think of is to try to make everything around you perfect or okay. But here's the thing, when you're trying so hard to be perfect, you're also holding back your emotions. You're not allowing people to see what's really going on behind the scenes. And over the years, and I teach this in my Solace program, I've learned what I call emotional integration practices, ways of tuning into what's really going on, allowing the emotion to wash over you and feel it. And even now, even today, I still have to practice this. There are so many times when, I might take care of something and look at my bed and go, oh, I just want to crash in my bed. I just want to fall apart for the moment. And then I push through and I press on because that's what the patriarchal dominance culture wants us to do. Push through, press on, keep going, make it happen. And I've been continuing to practice over the years, and I've had these really powerful moments of allowing myself to say, okay, if I need a moment to flop down on the bed and sob my eyes out, okay, I'm going to do that. And I have to say, just allowing for that has been so powerful to recognize different pieces of what is going on with my emotions and the ways in which I express them or don't express them, as the case may be. So, for instance, I realized that I had a lot of shoulds, right? A lot of thoughts saying, oh, I should be working. This is ridiculous. I should be stronger than this. I should be more relaxed than this. This is depression. I shouldn't be depressed, right? I had all of these judgments. And I was talking with a friend and she said to me, is it depression or are you just being real? And I thought, wow, that was powerful. Is it depression or are you just being real? I think there's so much power in those simple words. It was from actually my homeopath, who I've worked with for 11 years now. She's my go-to person and has become a dear friend. And I just felt so met and seen. And the fact that when we hold our emotions, when we don't allow ourselves to express, and then we judge ourselves for being anxious and depressed or angry or all the shoulds or shouldn'ts that we put on ourselves, there's anything but realness there. You know, we're human beings. We have emotions. We need to express. We need to feel what we need to feel. We need to allow ourselves to feel those expressions within us. And in doing so, the energy moves. We don't feel blocked. We don't get stuck in it. We're not stuck in the depression. We're not stuck in the anxiety, if we should even call it that, right? Maybe the reason we want to just fall down and sob is because we're simply exhausted. Or maybe we didn't feel seen or heard and it really hurt. Or maybe we really are feeling angry at something or grieving something, and we need to allow ourselves to do that. And then when we allow it, we move forward. When I teach my emotional integration exercise, it's really very much the same. The idea of sitting with and being with whatever the emotion is and saying, okay, anger, show me what you've got, and let it wash all over you and feel it. Obviously, you do it in a safe space. Maybe you're on your own and you're not going to freak anybody out if you start screaming or whatever it is. But the idea of being with it, allowing yourself to have some time. Now, obviously, that can't happen in a moment when we're in a board meeting or something like that, right? But maybe you can make time afterward to pause and just go do what you need to do to allow those feelings to wash over you, allow those expressions to come to the surface so that you can meet them. And maybe you can productively journal about them, or just express through tears, or express through some screaming, whatever it is that you need to do. But I encourage you to not let those emotions get stuck within you. We need to honor the power that our emotions have, the messages that they're giving us, and the ways in which they can help us keep moving through this life and being real.